Do you recall that meme? These are expensive shoes, valued at $1,000. From now on, they will be delivered to your residence. In this instance, the video received considerable mockery. However, MC Stan referred to the footwear worth $80,000. This brand goes by the name of Air Jordan. A bidding event for 6 pairs of these sneakers was organized in February 2024. Can you guess the selling price? $8 million, equivalent to RSM 67 crore. Astonishingly, this wasn't the initial occurrence. As previously in April 2023, the Air Jordan 13 was auctioned and fetched $2.2 million around Rs 18 crore. Even with their hefty price tag, they are snapped up in moments. One may wonder about the high demand for Air Jordans and the plethora of admirers who endorse the brand. Along with this, elements of the National Basketball Association. Why were these sneakers prohibited? In 2020, when the world was struggling with the COVID pandemic, sales in every category of the sports sector had declined. But Air Jordan achieved almost 20% growth even during those tough times, generating $3.7 billion in revenue for Nike. But the question is, what is the secret of its success? Most people might think that perhaps the quality is excellent. No doubt, the highest quality materials are used to make these sneakers and their designs are quite innovative. But is that really so expensive that a pair of shoes reaches the price of hundreds of thousands? Absolutely not. In reality, what makes these sneakers so expensive is the legacy of Air Jordan. And this legacy was not built in 2-4 days, but is the result of years of hard work, planning, and numerous strategies. The story of Air Jordan begins in the 1980s, when in the field of basketball in America, Adidas and Converse ruled because all the popular basketball players of that time like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar used to wear these two brands' signature shoes. In basketball, signature shoes mean making a player the brand ambassador. Because during the game, the player wears shoes of that brand and in return, the company pays him. Furthermore, due to basketball's immense popularity in the United States, numerous footwear manufacturers aspired to penetrate the basketball market. During the 1980s, while Converse was well-rooted, Nike was on the lookout for a marquee player. Not just Nike, but also the renowned Michael Jordan had yet to leave a significant imprint on the sport. However, it is often said that only an expert can identify true value. And in this scenario,
they wanted to give the track to Jordan. However, it was quite a risky decision because Jordan wasn't a big player at that time and hadn't even played a professional game yet. But still, Sonny somehow managed to get Nike's management to agree to work with Jordan, although convincing Jordan was still pending. Actually, like most youngsters of that time, Michael Jordan was an Adidas fan. Hence, he used to say that his first career contract should come from Adidas. But Adidas had lost its founder Adi Dassler just a few years earlier, which caused the company to be going through a tough time. Also, the company's top management wanted to deal with players taller than Michael Jordan, so they didn't give Jordan a serious offer. After Adidas, Jordan's next option was Converse because throughout his career, Jordan had used Converse shoes. Now Converse did offer Jordan a contract, but he didn't like it because Jordan wanted Converse to create an entirely new range of shoes just for him. He also wanted to be involved in the design and innovation process of the shoes. But Converse was already working with star players like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, so they couldn't give a new player like Jordan that much attention. As a result, Jordan rejected Converse's offer too. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan was approached numerous times, yet he consistently overlooked those advances since he was unenthusiastic about a fledgling company such as Nike. At last, persuaded by his mother, Michael agreed to listen to Nike's proposal just once. After all, it was tough to say no to his mother's persuasion. At that juncture, neither Michael nor Nike could foresee the monumental impact this encounter would have. In fact, Nike offered Michael Jordan $2.5 million for 5 years along with 25% royalty on every shoe, which was the biggest shoe contract in the NBA at that time. The surprising part was that such a huge contract was given to a new player who hadn't played a single NBA game yet. Jordan liked this offer the most because Nike was completely open to his suggestions. This meant that He could also be involved in the design and innovation process, so he quickly signed the contract. This was the beginning of a legacy that continues to this day. Since Nike was taking a big risk on Jordan, they had some conditions too. The condition was that Jordan had to achieve one of these three accomplishments within the first 3 years in the NBA. The first reward was the Rookie of the Year award, the second was making it to the All-Star team, and the third was maintaining an average of 20 points per game in the season. If Jordan couldn't achieve any of these three accomplishments, the contract would be terminated. The entire pressure was on Michael Jordan, and with these conditions, the work on making the shoes began. This fresh series was dubbed Air Jordan, stemming from Nike's innovative practice of infusing the shoe soles with compressed air. This made him feel very lightweight, and his questioning also increased. Nike had given it the name Airsole, and after a lot of experiments, finally, in early 1985, Nike had launched its first Air Jordan shoes, which was named Air Jordan 1. This was completely different from the other basketball thinking of that time, because at that time, almost all the list of basketball used to be completely white. But the Air Jordan mind was made from the combination of black and red, due to which everyone on it went. Until then, everything was going according to plan, but only then a very big one comes in front of Nike. In fact, along with the trap, this source also gets the attention of the NBA authority, where they banned Air Jordan as soon as it was launched. Actually, at that time, it was the role of NBA that all sources should have at least 50% white color, while only 23% white color was used in the Air Jordan ban. The original ban on Air Jordan was a staggering setback for Nike. In such a scenario, another corporation might have opted to subtly alter their product's hue to bypass the controversy. Nonetheless, Nike chose an alternative path. They perceived this prohibition as an opening. Acknowledging the burgeoning popularity of Air Jordan, Nike leveraged the ban's publicity in their advantage. A commercial was crafted, conveying the narrative of the ban. Even though NBA bans these shoes, it can't stop you from wearing them. And because of this campaign, Air Jordan became popular under the name of Van the Ban Van. Nike asked Michael Jordan to wear these shoes to every match. Michael Jordan was fined $5,000 per game. Gisco Nike was making beer without any problem because of the publicity he was getting from this controversy. No amount of $5,000 was presented to him. In reality, the actual situation was that Air Jordan wasn't officially banned. Instead, it faced a mere fine, and Nike intentionally propagated the ban rumor via its advertisement. Additionally, the gamble they took on Michael Jordan proved utterly advantageous. Indeed, Michael Jordan not only succeeded in meeting one, but surpassed all three conditions of the contract in his incredible initial season. In the very first season of NBA, Michael Jordan made millions of people crazy. The result was that within just 6 weeks of launch, Nike shipped 15,000 pairs of Air Journal Vans. Although his target was to earn only $3 million in the first 3 years, the Air Jordan Van became so popular among people that its sales crossed $126 million within 1 year. It was such a huge success that Nike never thought of it. Behind the success was not only the marketing strategy of Michael Jordan or Nike, but the great design of Air Jordan shoes was also a big reason for its success. During the late 70s, hip-hop culture began in America, and the artists who created hip-hop,
they had a habit of arriving. Funky sneakers turned into a crucial aspect of their fashion management. In such circumstances, their followers also began to don sneakers, thus initiating a sneaker trend in the United States, where these aficionados were termed sneakerheads. They didn't merely acquire sneakers for usage, but also amassed them, akin to how hobbyists gather cars and motorcycles. The most special thing about sneakerheads was that there was always a race to buy new sneakers. As soon as a new sneaker hit the shelves, they would swiftly buy several pairs and trade them to other sneaker enthusiasts at steep prices. Owing to them, the cost of these sneakers surged by 100 to 1000%. This sneaker phenomenon has now made its way to India as well. Nike was aware that to make a significant impact in this domain, winning over the sneakerheads was imperative at all costs. Hence, they introduced the Air Jordan series. They kept one thing absolutely clear while designing their shoes. They would pay attention to both the performance and the looks. Because when Air Jordan 1 was launched, sneakerheads went crazy over its design and look. But friends, Nike's success didn't last long because the second show of the Air Jordan lineup, Air Jordan 2, failed badly. Michael Jordan almost ended his contract with Nike due to Air Jordan 2. After the resounding triumph of Air Jordan 1, Nike felt the weight of expectation for their subsequent design to surpass its predecessor. Thus, Nike assigned their most outstanding designers, Peter Moore along with Bruce Kilgore, to craft the forthcoming sneaker. Peter Moore had conceived the Air Jordan 1, while Bruce had brought the Air Force 1 to life, which stood as Nike's top-selling footwear at that juncture. However, the endeavor for flawlessness at times can lead to downfall. A similar fate befell the Air Jordan 2 design. Moore and Kilgore had one thing in mind. They wanted to make a shoe that was performance-based but also so stunning and luxurious in looks that people could wear it with a three-piece suit. After months of effort, they succeeded in creating this shoe. I know many of you liked Air Jordan 2, and the same happened during its launch in 1986. The only issue was that more people disliked it, including Michael Jordan.
His advice wasn't considered valuable. Thus, he resolved to depart from Nike, post-fulfilling his quintennial contract in the year 1989. Such a decision would have dealt considerable harm to Nike. Hence, the corporation promptly relieved Peter Moore and Bruce Kilgore of their roles in crafting the Air Jordan, instead appointing the talented young Tinker Hatfield for the design of Air Jordan 3. After prolonged and diligent effort, the shoe was ultimately completed. To show it to Michael Jordan, Tinker himself took a flight to California, and as expected, the first glimpse of this shoe had won Michael Jordan's heart, because all his requirements were taken into account in making it. According to Michael's requirements, the weight of this shoe was kept low and it was a mid-top shoe. The Air Jordan 3 was the first sneaker to feature Jordan Brandy's iconic Jumpman logo. The Air Jordan 3 proved to be a lifesaver for Nike. Michael Jordan's intention to part with Nike completely changed, and at the same time this sneakerhead was also liked a lot. After this success, Nike and Michael Jordan created a league for which people are always ready to pay the asking price. The most special thing about Air Jordan is that no matter how much the market goes up or down, they never reduce the price of their shoes and never give a discount. This is why when a person purchases shoes worth 100,000, so he believes that his price is really Rs 100,000, because if he wants, he can keep these shoes with him for some time and sell them at a higher price. Rest of friends, similarly, if you want to know how Campus Shoes became India's largest shoe manufacturer by overtaking brands like Nike and Adidas,